Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about arguably the most important thing that you need to know if you're just starting print on demand. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the difference between using Shopify for your print on demand or using all of the other print on demand websites. Some of these you may have seen are Redbubble, TeePublic, Amazon Merch on Demand, Etsy, and I'll explain the differences between both of these in this video. Now, I've been selling print on demand for almost 10 years now, and one of the most common questions that I get is what platform should I be uploading my designs to get the most sales? And this is actually a very important question because if you choose Shopify or something similar, or if you choose one of these other websites that I was just explaining, when you look 1 or 2 years down the road, you are going to have a very different business model for yourself, and not many people know why. Without further ado, let's dive right into this video, and I'm going to cover the main differences between the two different print-on-demand platforms, and then towards the end of this video, we'll go through, if you are just starting print-on-demand, which one would be right for you depending on what kind of business you want to start. The very first difference between these platforms is going to be price. So if you choose to use Shopify for print on demand, when you come over to Shopify, you're going to have to pay at least $39 per month. And if you know anything about Shopify, Shopify is basically just giving you a website. It's giving you a website that is a storefront where you can sell items. None of the print on demand is actually done for you yet. So far, just know that if you're going to use Shopify, you're going to be at least $39 per month just to have that website live. Now, if you come over to the other print-on-demand websites, they are 100% free to use. You don't have to pay monthly to have an account on their websites. You can just start uploading your designs. Now, I will say that there's a little catch with Etsy here. Etsy charges you 20 cents per listing that you upload, but there's no monthly fee to use their website. I'm going to touch on Etsy a little bit later in this video because there's some things to clarify there. So if you're interested in Etsy, stick around for that. So staying on the same topic of price, we know that Shopify you're going to have to pay monthly. The other websites are going to be free to use. However, when you use Shopify, it doesn't really end there. So if you go to the Shopify App Store, once you create your Shopify website, you're still going to have to add in the print on demand feature. So if you go to their App Store and you type in print on demand, you can see different apps that you can add to your Shopify website. The two most popular print-on-demand apps that you can use here are Printful and Printify. Now, the important thing to understand here is that both of these apps are totally free to add onto your Shopify store. So you stay at that $39 per month, just paying for Shopify. However, when you use either of these apps, when someone comes in and makes an order of one of your shirts on your Shopify store, you get charged for that order, the cost of the goods, and then you get reimbursed for it after. This is a huge concept that a lot of people are not aware of, and they start a Shopify store. They don't realize that they have to have a payment method on file so that every time someone makes an order, that payment method is going to be charged up front. Now, when you look at the other print-on-demand websites, they do not do this at all. You upload your designs, there's nothing else from there. You don't have to put a payment method on file because when the customer makes a purchase of one of those designs or one of those shirts, they pay the entire cost of the shirt, and then we just get a split of the profit. All right, so now that we've covered the price of these two different options, now let's move into the next very important difference. What this difference is the marketing. Starting with the Shopify option, when you use Shopify for print on demand, they do not do any marketing for you. This means that essentially you are creating your listings, you're uploading them to your website, and then it's just a website. So you have to bring your own traffic, you have to get people to make purchases, none of that's going to be done for you. This is where you start to notice a really big difference between these websites. When you look at the other big print-on-demand platforms, they all do marketing for you. Now, although each of them does different versions of marketing, what you are going to get as a main benefit is that when you upload your listings to these websites, your listing gets listed on their marketplace. Now, to show you what this looks like on Redbubble, for example, this is their marketplace. So all of these are uploaded by different sellers, and then people come to Redbubble automatically and organically every month, and they're seeing these listings. Now, this is the same concept for the other print-on-demand platforms in this category. Amazon is even one of these as well. So when you see t-shirts like this on Amazon, that's done through print-on-demand. So you may be wondering, if you're creating designs and you're uploading them to these print-on-demand websites, are you really going to get sales just by having your listings in the marketplaces? And the short answer here is yes. You don't have to pay for any traffic to come to your listings. You can literally rely on their marketplace traffic. And just to give you an idea here of how much traffic is really going to these websites, this is a traffic report for Redbubble. Over the last 6 months, they've averaged about 10 million people to their website every single month. And then looking at the other print-on-demand websites as well, this is TeePublic. They get about 1 million to their website every month. And then Amazon, which is using Amazon Merch on Demand, which which is their print on demand, they're getting about 800 million people to their website every single month. And that brings us into the third really big difference between Shopify and these other print on demand platforms. What this difference is customer service. So starting with the Shopify option here, if you have your print on demand items on a Shopify store, you are going to have to handle all of the customer service. This is going to be people writing in about they ordered the wrong size on accident, they put the wrong shipping address, has their order been shipped, it hasn't arrived yet. All of the questions that are just going to eat up your time, you are going to have to be responsible to take care of those. Coming over to the other print-on-demand websites, they take care of it for you. So think about Amazon. They take care of all the customer service for you. It doesn't matter who uploaded that design and is selling it on Amazon, Amazon's going to take care of the customer service for you. This is the same for these other print-on-demand websites as well. So you're not going to have to lift a finger to do any customer service. Now, with those three really big differences between Shopify and these other print-on-demand platforms, that brings us into the concept of active versus passive. This is something that I try to talk about a lot on this channel because it's not commonly known. So essentially, if you go the Shopify route, this is what I classify as an actively managed print-on-demand business. Essentially, what that means is if you look 1 or 2 years down the road, as your business starts to grow, you are actively going to have to bring customers to your store. You're going to have to do paid ads, or you're going to have to do social media marketing. You're actively going to have to be doing something there to bring buyers to your store. Also, you're actively going to have to be managing the customer service. So essentially, if you stop doing everything for that business and you just try to let it run as a passive income business, the business is going to fail. Looking at the other side of print on demand, this is what I classify as passive print on demand. On this side, essentially, you're just creating print on demand designs, uploading them to these websites. They're getting tons of marketplace traffic on their own, and all the customer service is handled for you. Once you've uploaded your designs to these websites, there's literally nothing else for you to do. You can just sit back and literally collect your split of the profits. Now, before finishing this video here, we have to talk about Etsy because Etsy doesn't cleanly fit into either one of these categories. When it comes to Etsy, Etsy is basically like a Shopify where you can create your own store, you have to handle your customer service. However, they're going to be doing the marketing for you. When you look at Etsy's traffic report, they get over 100 million people to their website every single month, browsing through their marketplace. So if you're creating your designs and uploading them to Etsy, you are going to have the marketing taken care of for you. However, you still are going to have to actively manage the customer service. So with all of that being said, let's talk about which option here is better for you if you're just getting started in print on demand. From my experience, I would say that the Shopify option is going to be better for those of you who want to create a full-fledged clothing brand. By using Shopify, you're going to be able to customize your store a lot more. Also, you're going to be able to have your own custom domain so you can route people to your website. And something that's really important to a full-fledged clothing brand company is that you're able to collect emails. This is something that you can't do on these other print-on-demand websites. So what that means is once someone has made a purchase on your website, you can then email them in the future when you come out with new designs or other things that you'd like to show them as well. Now, coming over to the other option, these more passive print-on-demand websites, this is going to be for those of you who want to create a passive income business, for those of you who want to create designs in multiple niches and just upload them to the websites and kind of have all of the marketing, all of the customer service, everything done for you, and really have a hands-off business that's just generating you income. This way of doing it is the way that I personally really like to do it because it creates a stress-free income stream for you. So with that being said, if you want to get into this more passive style of print on demand, I'm going to link up 2 videos for you. The first is a full print-on-demand tutorial. It'll walk you through every single step from just having the idea that you want to start passive print-on-demand to actually getting your first sale. And then also, I'm going to link up a video on how to find low competition niches. So in these big marketplace websites, some of the big popular niches are filled up with a ton of designs. Well, there's actually ways that you can see which topics don't have many print-on-demand sellers in them. So if you create designs in those topics, yours are going to go to the first page on the marketplace. So guys, hopefully that has been helpful. The links will be down in the description. I'll put them up on the sides as well so you can find them there. And as always, if you have any questions at all, just let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you guys all in the next video.